Hello, students. I hope you are all fine and in good health. I am continuing from where I left in my previous audio discussion. So, since none of the servants were eager to serve this wounded white man to be very precise, so Hannah took the responsibility on her shoulders to serve that wounded man. So let me continue. When she came in the first time, she saw him summon. Summon means to gather his small strength to be prepared for some fearful thing. Now, this wounded man, slowly and slowly, he regained his consciousness and he is recovering. Now, he is in a new place, in a new environment, and so it needed some time for him to acclimatize with this situation, and that is the reason he looked a bit scared. Don't be afraid, she begged him softly. Now, when Hannah entered the room, Hannah told him not to be afraid at all. How come you speak English? He gasped. Now, the man got a bit surprised when fluently Hannah was talking with him in English. I was a long time in America, she replied. Hannah told the wounded man that I was for a long time in America and I can speak English. She saw that he wanted to reply to that, but he could not. And so she knelt and fed him gently from the porcelain spoon. He ate unwillingly, but still he ate. The man was weak. Physically, that man was very weak. But still he ate, almost reluctantly, or rather to say, unwillingly. Now you will soon be strong, she said, not liking him, and yet moved to comfort him. Now, Hannah, at the back of her mind, she knew it very well that this wounded man is her enemy. Though she is not liking him at all, but it is a gesture, a formal gesture. While she fed him, she told him that you will recover soon, you will be strong soon, nothing to worry about it. He did not answer. When Sadao came in the third day after the operation, he found the young man sitting up, his face bloodless with the effort. Now, when Sadao came on the third day after the operation, he found that young man was sitting in his bedroom. And it seems that the man is still very much weak because the man is looking pale and white. So, lie down, Sadao cried. Do you want to die? You are still weak, so please lie down. He forced the man down gently and strongly and examined the wound. You may kill yourself if you do this sort of thing, he scolded. That what are you doing? Please don't venture outside right now or don't move about the room. It is the right time for you to sleep, to lie down, because if you go on strolling and moving around the room, it might be fatal for you. Now, this thing Sadao told the young man, wounded man, and he scolded also him side by side. So, I repeat this line, you may kill yourself if you do this sort of thing. What are you going to do with me? The boy muttered. And now that American wounded man, now he realized that something is there, some plan is there, might be, for this doctor. So he asked Sadao that what are you going to do with me? He looked just now barely 17. Are you going to hand me over? Now, very directly, he asked the question to Sadao that what are you going to do with me? Are you going to hand me over to the police? And this boy looks very young. He is hardly 17. For a moment, Sadao did not answer. He finished his examination and then pulled the silk quilt over the man. Now, Sadao haven't said anything in reply. He examined, it's a routine medical checkup, and then he pulled the blanket over the man. I do not know myself what I shall do with you, he said. I ought, of course, to give you to the police. You are a prisoner of war. No, do not tell me anything. Now, Sadao retorted back, or replied back in a very angry manner, that I don't know exactly what I should do with you. You are my enemy. I should definitely hand you over to the police because you are a prisoner of war, and it is better that I should hand you over to the police. But at this moment, at this stage, at this juncture, I don't know what to do with you. He put up his hand as he saw the young man was about to speak. Do not even tell me your name unless I ask it. No, I am not eager to listen to anything. And I don't want to know your name unless you ask me. Unless I ask you. You don't have to say your name also. They looked at each other for a moment. It is very clear that Sadao is a bit annoyed, but he can't avoid his professional responsibilities. And the professional responsibilities of a doctor is to save the life of a patient. So let me move on. But I will explain this line once again. You are a prisoner of war. No, do not tell me anything. He put up his hand as he saw the young man was about to speak. Do not even tell me your name unless I ask it. I don't want to know your name unless I ask you about it. They looked at each other for a moment, and then the young man closed his eyes and turned his face to the wall. Okay, he whispered, his mouth a bitter line. That means the man got a bit upset. He just told okay, nothing else. Outside the door, Hana was waiting for Sadao. He saw at once that she was in trouble because the servants, they went on a they are about to rebel. They went on a revolt, it seems so. Sadao, Yumi tells me the servants feel they cannot stay if we hide this man here anymore, she said. She tells me that they are saying that you and I were so long in America that we have forgotten to think of our own country first. They think we like Americans. So Yumi, the babysitter, gave the information to Hana that the servants, they are about to rebel because they don't want this wounded man to be in the house. If the wounded man stays, then obviously they might stop working in the house, and they are of the opinion that since Sadao and Hana, they for many years they were in America, it seems that they like Americans a lot. It is not true, Sadao said harshly. Americans are our enemies, but I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. Obviously, Americans are our enemies, but if I can help a man, and in due course of time, if I can save his life, definitely I have to do that because that is the responsibility of a doctor. The servants cannot understand that, she said anxiously. But Hana told Sadao that your intentions are right because you fulfilled the duties of a doctor. But the servants, it is very difficult to make them understand about it. No, he agreed. Neither seemed able to say more, and somehow the household dragged on. It seems that the servants, their body language seems that they are very much upset with the decision of Sadao and Hana to keep that man inside the house. And it seems that though from outside the servants were doing their work, but both Hana and Sadao, they can sense that something is wrong somewhere. The servants, maybe they are slowly they are about to go against them. It seems so. The servants grew more watchful. Their courtesy was as careful as ever, but their eyes were cold upon the pair. Pair means Sadao and Hana, to whom they were hired. Now the servants, they were behaving as usual, but there was some changes. Now they are very much watchful. They became very much careful, and they used to have a close look at the pair. That means at Hannah and Sada also. It seems it's very much clear to us that the servants, they were reluctant to work, to continue their work in the house. It seems that they want immediately, this man should be handed over to the police. It is clear what our master ought to do, the old gardener said one morning. He had walked with flowers all his life, and this old gardener was in the house from the time when Sada was a small kid or a small boy. So I repeat, it is clear what our master ought to do, the old gardener said one morning. He had walked with flowers all his life and had been a specialist too in moss. So he is a specialist in a particular kind of a flower, that is moss. For Sadao's father, he had made one of the finest moss garden in Japan, sweeping the bright green carpet constantly so that not a leaf or a pine needle marred means ruin, marred the velvet of its surface. So the gardener tirelessly worked hard, and he was the man who actually prepared the finest moss garden in Japan for Sadao's father. My old master's son, that is, he is referring to Sadao, knows very well what he ought to do, he said, pinching a bud from a bush as he spoke. When the man was so near death, why did he not let him bleed? Now this is the question that is troubling him. The old gardener, he told that if the man was there about to die, why my master's son, that is Sadao, tried to save him? He would have let him bleed there only. That young master is so proud of his skill related with his surgery skill. So save life, that is, saves any life. The cook said contemptuously, even the cook also, the kitchen cook also, the person who is in charge of the kitchen work, he also told at the same time that since Sada was an expert in surgery, and since he had already taken the pledge to save lives, it seems that he is eager to save any life. That means neither the old gardener nor the cook in the kitchen, they were happy with the decision of giving shelter to this wounded white man or this American prisoner of war. They were not eager. I mean, they are not at all interested in the fact that Sadao saved his life. They will be very much happy if this man would be handed over to the police immediately. So let me continue. I already told this part, so let me move on. The young master is so proud of his skill to save life, he saves any life. The cook said contemptuously, quite casually, carelessly also. She split a fowl's neck skillfully and held the fluttering bird and let its blood flow into the roots of a wisteria vine. Blood is the best of fertilizers, and the old gardener would not let her waste a drop of it. So that fowl was been cut, or rather to say, the neck of the fowl was split and the blood was been given into the wisteria vine, because blood is the best. It will work magic. It is the best of fertilizers, and the old gardener won't allow her to waste even a drop of that. So when they were conversing, the kitchen cook and the old gardener, they were conversing. They were of the opinion that Sadao could have let that man bleed and die instead of bringing him to home. So now I am moving on. It is the children of whom we must think, Yumi said sadly. What will be their fate if their father is condemned as a traitor? Now Yumi also joined in the party and told that what would happen to the children if Sadao is been the traitor, is been called the traitor, then what will happen to the children? They did not try to hide what they said from the ears of Hannah as she stood arranging the day's flowers in the veranda nearby, and she knew they spoke on purpose that she might hear. The servants, they were not hiding anything. They were speaking very clearly and very loudly so that their mistress Hannah can also listen to it. They were speaking purposely in a high tone voice so that Hannah can listen to it. That they were right, she knew too in most of her being. But there was another part of her which she herself could not understand. It was not sentimental liking of the prisoner. She had come to think of him as a prisoner. She had not liked him even yesterday when he has said in his impulsive way, "Anyway, let me tell you that my name is Tom." She had only bowed her little distant bow. She saw heart in his eyes, but she did not wish to assuage it. Indeed, he was a great trouble in this house. Now, there was an incident when this man tried to interact with Hannah, but it seems that Hannah was not at all interested to interact with this man. Even Hannah retorted, okay, she just bowed and never ever replied back to this man. And moreover, she also thinks that the servants, they were not entirely wrong, because this man is a political prisoner. So if he remains in the house, it might not be good for the family at all. This man should be handed over immediately to the police. As for Sadao, every day he examined the wound carefully. Sadao, as for him, whenever he gets a case, it seems that he is totally focused on that. And it's a routine medical checkup that Sadao used to do each and every day. The last stitches had been pulled out this morning, and the young man would in a fortnight be nearly as well as ever. Within 15 days, within fortnight, he will be as fine as ever. Sadao went back to his office and carefully typed a letter to the chief of police reporting the whole matter. Now, when Sadao realized that within 15 days, this man will be more or less, he will recovered from what happened to him. So what Sadao did, he went to his office and went on typing a letter. And he was about to write about the incident that actually happened related to with this POW, that is prisoner of war. On the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So far he typed, and then he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report into it. But he haven't typed the entire letter. He has only written that on the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of his house. That part he has written, or rather to say, that much he has written. After that, he haven't written anything more. And what he did, he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report or the unfinished letter in it. And then he left that place. So, dear students, I stop here in this audio presentation in page number 38. In my next audio presentation, I will be continuing from the next paragraph. As you know, it's a very lengthy story, so it will take some time to complete. So I have done up to page number 38, up to this part where Sadao was about to write many more things about that man, how he found that man, but he has written only 2-3 lines. That on the 21st of Feb, this man was ashore in front of his house, and then he left the report unfinished and put it inside his secret drawer. So I have explained you all up to this in this audio presentation. In my next audio presentation, I will continue from the next paragraph. Till then, please, it's my request to everyone, kindly go through this audio presentation. It's a revision class. So kindly go through this audio presentation, and if there is any problem anywhere, kindly let me know about it. Thank you, students. Thank you all.